The autumn wind howled across Maine's Crystal Lake, sending ripples across its usually tranquil surface. Adam Peterson guided his truck down the familiar gravel path leading to his family's lakeside estate, his knuckles white on the steering wheel. His father's call about the vintage Chris Craft boat had been brief and uncharacteristically tense, something that set off warning bells in Adam's mind. Richard Peterson had maintained that boat with religious dedication for 3 decades. "Dad, what's wrong with the boat?" Adam had asked over the phone. Just just come quickly, son. Please." Richard's voice had wavered, a tremor in a usually steady tone. That hesitation, that tremor wasn't right. Adam had learned to trust his instincts during his years in special operations, and right now every nerve ending screamed that something was terribly wrong. As he rounded the final bend in the driveway, the first red flag appeared. The property security cameras, installed by Adam himself last spring, hung motionless, their recording lights dark. Adam slowed the truck, scanning the property with a practiced eye. His heart nearly stopped when he spotted his wife Jessica's black Mercedes parked behind his parents' car. She'd told him she would be in Boston all week for a real estate conference. Adam had even helped her pack. Listening to her enthusiastic chatter about networking opportunities, now her presence here on a Wednesday afternoon, when she should have been 2 states away, sent ice through his veins. Adam parked his truck out of sight behind the old groundskeeper shed. Approaching the house, his military training took over. Each step deliberate, breathing controlled. The front door stood ajar, afternoon sunlight spilling across scattered papers in the entryway. Family photos lay face down on the hardwood floor, frames cracked. Adam's hand instinctively reached for a weapon that wasn't there, his combat reflexes surging to the surface. From the direction of the Both House came muffled voices. He moved silently across the lawn, every sense on high alert. Nearing the Both House, Adam recognized Jessica's voice, cold, calculating, and utterly foreign to him. "You two better finalize your son's inheritance soon so I can divorce him and take a bigger cut," she said, contempt dripping from her words. "Then I'll retire rich thanks to him. Don't you dare tell your son anything, or my partner will make sure you won't be around much longer." Adam pressed his back against the weathered wood of the Both House, heartbreak roaring in his chest. He heard his mother, Nancy, stifle a sob. His father, Richard, sat next to her, cradling a bruised wrist. Just the sight of Richard Peterson, a proud man who'd built their construction company from nothing, looking so defeated, ignited a fury in Adam's core. Standing beside Jessica was a hulking figure Adam didn't recognize, a muscular man with crude prison tattoos stretching up his neck. Later, Adam would learn this was Shane Green, but in that moment, all Adam saw was a threat to his family. The slight bulge under Shane's jacket suggested he was armed. Then Adam noticed something else. Around Jessica's neck gleamed his mother's sapphire necklace, a Peterson family heirloom passed down for generations. Nancy had worn it at Adam's wedding, promising to give it to a future granddaughter. Now Jessica displayed it like a trophy. "The money's not enough," Jessica continued, toying with a stolen necklace. "Maybe I should take this too. It's probably worth more than that pathetic boat your husband wastes so much time on." "That necklace belongs to my daughter," Nancy shot back, voice shaking with anger. "You don't have a daughter, old lady," Shane sneered. "Just a son who married the wrong woman." Adam's rage spiked, but instead of barging in, guns blazing, he forced himself to remain calm for one more moment. He slipped his phone from his pocket, activating its recording feature. With his other hand, he sent an SOS to his old military teammate. Jacob Rollins, now a detective with the state police. Years of trust told Adam that Jacob would respond instantly. Through the Both House window, Adam could see the table scattered with half-empty coffee cups, a faint white residue on their rims. The hidden wall safe gaped open, family documents strewn like dead leaves. Jessica's voice hissed in triumph. "The transfer papers need both your signatures, Richard." "I won't sign anything under duress," Richard snapped back. "Sign it, or your wife takes a swim," Shane growled. That was it. Adam could stand by no longer. No one threatened his family. He burst through the Both House door, presence like a thunderclap. "Let her go, now." Jessica froze, eyes wide. Shane reached for his concealed weapon, but Adam was quicker, years of special ops training guiding his movements. He grabbed a hammer from nearby tools, deflecting Shane's draw. The gun flew, skittering across the floor. Shane charged. but Adam sidestepped, using Shane's momentum against him. They crashed into boat repair equipment, tools clattering. Adam, this isn't what it looks like. Jessica's bravado cracked, fear creeping in. Your parents, your father, they... Shut up. Adam snarled, eyes never leaving Shane. Shane, dazed, tried to right himself. Jessica, voice trembling, spat, You have no idea who you're dealing with. The Castellano family will. But a chorus of sirens cut her off, growing closer. Adam kept his eyes on Shane, whose face twisted in rage, but the fight had gone out of him. He must have realized the game was up. Inside, Adam's father slowly got to his feet, wincing at his injured wrist, guiding Nancy to safety outside. Jessica tried one last time, voice turning mocking. Your parents deserve this, Adam. All that wealth wasted on your father's boat. We just helped ourselves to what should have been yours anyway. Adam glowered, I deserve to watch you both go to prison. Police sirens reached a crescendo. Shane's shoulders slumped. Jessica's furious gaze locked on Adam, but she said nothing as the first patrol cars screeched to a stop outside. Through the boathouse's open door, Detective Megan Hall led a squad of officers onto the property. Outside, paramedics tended to Richard's wrist and calmed Nancy's shock. Adam quietly explained to Detective Hall what he'd overheard, showing her the phone's recorded evidence. Her expression hardened with each new detail. We'll take it from here, Mr. Peterson, Hall assured him. They won't get away with this. Soon the property was a hive of investigators, each unveiling more layers of deception. Forged documents in the boat compartments, offshore account details hidden among old maintenance logs, coffee cups laced with questionable substances used to dull Richard and Nancy's judgment. Stephen West, the family lawyer, arrived suspiciously fast, only for the police to uncover that he'd been collaborating with Jessica all along, helping orchestrate the takeover of the Peterson estate. Shane, discovered to be a dishonorably discharged Marine with ties to organized crime, clammed up once in custody. Jessica, on the other hand, howled insults, claiming her name was on everything, that she'd never leave the estate. The police had other ideas. Adam stood by the boathouse, watching the vintage Chris Craft bob gently. That boat had been at the center of so many family memories, summer picnics, quiet fishing trips at dawn. Now it was also the site of an attempted financial robbery. He stepped aside as Hall approached, her notepad in hand. We have enough evidence to charge them, Mr. Peterson, but I suspect this ring is bigger than your wife and that muscle she's hired. We'll dig deeper. Adam's jaw set. They messed with the wrong family. Over the next few days, police traced phone records and financial transactions. They uncovered a web of scams orchestrated by Jessica, real name Angela Martinez, in multiple states targeting wealthy families near retirement. Shane Green was just the latest brute in her arsenal, and the mention of the Castellano family indicated ties to a larger criminal network. Meanwhile, Richard and Nancy recovered at a cabin Adam arranged for them in the mountains. A doctor concluded they'd been microdosed with a depressant to keep them docile. Their statements to the police were crucial, painting a picture of how Jessica had warmed into the family, playing the perfect daughter-in-law until she tried to seize the inheritance. As the evidence mounted, so did charges against Jessica, Shane, and Stephen West. Even a corrupt judge and multiple conspirators faced scrutiny. The cast of betrayers realized too late that Adam Peterson was neither weak nor ignorant. He'd simply been biding his time, letting them reveal themselves. In the months that followed, the story drew national attention. Headlines about the Lake House betrayal popped up on morning shows, while elder fraud experts lauded the Peterson family for fighting back. Adam's parents received an outpouring of support, leading them to establish a foundation aimed at preventing similar cons. Adam, no longer just the quiet son working behind the scenes, took the helm of the family business. He added a new division specializing in security consultation for estates, using the same cunning that Jessica had tried to exploit. Ironically, her betrayal had propelled him to new leadership heights. Detective Hall, impressed with Adam's methodical approach, invited him to assist in analyzing evidence of other similar crimes. He discovered that Jessica's ring had scammed multiple wealthy families, always leveraging marriage or romance as the key. They'd never met such swift retribution until now. One night, Adam found himself alone at the boat dock, the Chris Craft's polished hull gleaming under the moonlight. He thought of how Jessica had dismissed the boat as a foolish obsession, yet it was also the reason she and Shane had ended up in handcuffs. He let a small, wry smile cross his lips. Eventually, the trial commenced. Jessica aka Angela Martinez tried to deny everything, but the mountain of evidence was insurmountable. Shane attempted to spin a sob story about post-military trauma, but the stolen documents and threatening phone calls told another narrative. Stephen West, cornered by his own complicity, turned state's witness. The conspirators faced lengthy prison sentences. At last, with the scandal behind them, the Petersons could breathe easier. Adam poured energy into the newly formed Peterson Foundation for Elder Justice, ensuring no other family fell prey to such manipulation. The vintage Chris Craft once more became a symbol of family unity rather than near destruction. Standing on the deck of that boat one late summer evening, Adam gazed at the calm waters. "We survived," he murmured to himself. And they hadn't just survived. They had adapted, grown stronger, forging new bonds of trust and purpose. His phone buzzed, a text from Detective Hall. "Heard the final sentencing is next week. Might be good to attend. Let me know if you need a front row seat." Adam typed back, "I'll be there. Thanks, Megan." A sense of closure washed over him. He would watch Jessica and Shane answer for their crimes, see the law deliver final judgment. Yet deep inside, Adam recognized that the real triumph wasn't in seeing them punished, though it was deserved, but in realizing how deeply he valued honesty, loyalty, and family. The dark illusions Jessica had spun were shattered, replaced by the unbreakable reality of a tight-knit Peterson clan ready to defend each other with unwavering resolve. Adam cast one more glance at the serene lake, then fired up the Chris Crafts engine. The gentle hum soothed him, a reminder of old traditions continuing. He steered into the lake's center, letting the autumn breeze swirl around him. This time, the wind felt no longer ominous, but invigorating, a promise of new beginnings for the Peterson family on the shores of Crystal Lake.